Tonight, we know the names of the officer involved and the 19-year-old man who is now dead. I'm Danica Lewis. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 at 6. Just this afternoon, the Dane County Medical Examiner confirmed that man is Tony Robinson Jr. The Sun Prairie High School graduate died at the hospital last night after being shot by police. Neither Madison police nor state officials have said where he was shot or how many times. That officer, also just named this afternoon, is 45-year-old Matthew Kenny. Kenny is on paid administrative leave at this time. Kenny was put on leave back in 2007 in connection to another officer-involved shooting on Camden Road. The district attorney cleared him of any wrongdoing in that case, and he even received a Medal of Valor for his actions. This is video here of Kenny from May of 2013. According to the department's website, Kenny was part of the mounted patrol. He has more than 12 years of experience on the Madison force and was the prime responder to the Williamson Street situation last night. Madison's police chief told us he went to visit Tony Robinson's family early this morning after this scene transpired. New details are sparse since the State Division of Criminal Investigations has taken over the case. But according to Madison police, officers were called out to Williamson Street for reports of a man jumping in and out of traffic. Police say Robinson went inside of an acquaintance residence. Officer Kenny followed, and police say Robinson assaulted Kenny. That's when Kenny fired his weapon. Again, Koval confirmed today Robinson was not armed.
I am certain but that our trust variable is in a volatile place, and we're going to have to work through that together to get some measure of healing and reconciliation.
Koval stressed that he and his officers send their most sincere condolences to Robinson's family. Again, under a new state law, the Department of Justice is now handling the criminal investigation in this case. We have live team coverage tonight as the community reacts to the shooting. News 3's Leah Linscheid spent the day at the scene talking with some of those who knew Robinson best, but we do start tonight with Velena Jones. She's at the Fountain of Life Church on the south side, where Robinson's family released a statement about their loss. Velena?
That's right, Danica. Today, family members of Robinson spoke out this afternoon asking for the media to give them time to process and for those who are protesting to do so peacefully. Community leaders attended today's meeting. They spoke to a crowd of around 100 people asking for the community to stick together during this time. Family members of Robinson read a statement prepared by his mother, who says she has still not been able to see her son's body.
I want the people to know that I want them to stop hurting my son's image. What you see on the paper is nothing in comparison to who he was as a person, a brother, a son, a friend. I ask for you guys to respect the necessity that I have to grieve for this great loss. At this point, I can't even compute what has happened because it has not yet been real. I haven't even had a chance to see his body to make it real for me yet.
Rallies and meetings have been held around the city throughout the entire day. Hundreds of protesters started to march from the Dane County Jail to East Washington and ended at Willie Street, blocking off traffic about a block, ending at the site of last night's shooting. Members of the Young, Gifted, and Black Coalition say they do not want their message to be lost in the midst of these protests.
A child, somebody's child, is dead, shot dead by a police officer. There's no other facts that are really important. The fact is he's unarmed and he was shot 5 times.
Protesters have been very vocal up to this point, but they have been peaceful so far. Grayson says peace going forward will depend on interactions with the police department. Now back out here live at the Fountain of Life Church. That community meeting that started at 4 today is still going on. They plan to end that meeting at 5:30, but community members are still coming up and speaking. They're stressing that they want to have a proactive approach and not so much a reactive approach going forward, and they're focusing on community unity at this time, Danica.
Velena Jones been covering these protests since the beginning. Thank you, Velena. And our team coverage continues with Leah Linscheid. She joins us now after spending time today talking with friends of Robinson. Leah.
Danica, we spoke to Tony's aunt and also a close friend, Doris King, who has been part of Tony's life since he was a little boy. Her son growing up side by side with him. And on the night he died on Willie Street, Doris was at home right across the road.
Tony was a good kid.
19-year-old Tony Robinson is remembered by his friends as a gentle giant.
He towered over all of them, and they all respected him.
And a mentor, too.
He's been a role model for his younger brothers and sisters. This is a picture of Tony.
Doris King watched Tony grow up over the past 2 decades.
He's like my nephew or my son.
Last night, she watched the aftermath of his death unfold outside her Willie Street window.
You know, police everywhere. I'm trying to ask, has anyone called a parent?
He was like my little brother. He was raised like my brother.
Tony's aunt, Lorian, at the scene Friday night, remembers him as a leader.
My nephew graduated from high school 6 months earlier than everybody else. Oh gosh, he was the silliest, goofiest kid in the world. Terrell wanted people to like him, and he had goals.
What do we want?
I'm angry and I'm sad all at the same time.
Those emotions are what's brought Doris and others out today.
Because I feel like there could have been a different way to handle whatever was going on in that house with Tony.
Protesting against their loss.
It's huge. It's huge.
And for a boy, they want everyone to remember.
You know, I think that he had a lot of positive things, you know, within himself that he could have shared, but now his life is gone.
Just don't ever forget him, because first we cry and then we rebel, but we never forget, period.
Tony had graduated recently from Sun Prairie High School with plans to go to MATC for a business degree, Danica.
Well, Leah, as far as we know right now, did Robinson have a criminal history?
You know, Danica, we're still looking into that. When we asked Police Chief Koval that today about any interactions that he might have had in the past with police, he declined to comment, saying it would be inappropriate to, quote, blemish anyone's character less than 24 hours after his death.
Leah's, yeah,
still looking into that.
Absolutely. Leah's been on the scene since very early this morning. Appreciate your effort with this story, Leah. Thank you so much.